shoes.
There we are. There we are. We actually are going live now, guys. Oh my God, it wasn't me. You're live. It says.
I thought it wasn't registering. And
Hi, guys. Sorry about that. It took a little bit of time for us.
Sorry, guys.
We did it though. Nice.
This is truly the situation of having been gone for a weekend and now we don't know what we're doing. Oh, you like my glasses, Deborah? Ooh. So the story on my glasses, guys, is if you love these kinds of fun glasses, you can get them at the Dezignclub store.
Right.
And I carry them there because I love them. They're super fun. They have tons of great colors. They're easy to throw around and they're super inexpensive. They can be readers or they can be progressives. And they come in all these fun colors and the company is super hip, which I love. And they name all their stuff really funky things like this is called like Pond Scum Blue or something like that. So, but Maggie, we have them in the club, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We have that exact pair actually in the Dezignclub store.
Yes.
So guys,
God,
if you are interested, absolutely check that out.
Yes.
There are others too, but yeah, those especially we have.
Cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, should we get going or are we waiting for another thing to happen tech-wise?
No. We're finally good, guys. I am
Oh my
so
God,
sorry.
11 minutes in.
My fault.
Okay.
It was waiting for me to click a little button here and I didn't know to click the button. I just didn't. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's been 2 weeks since we
two
went
weeks.
live, so
that's right. It goes off the rails.
I forgot a lot in that time. I'm trying to read. Oh, hi everybody. Can everybody on YouTube see us okay now? I think we're good, right?
So
yes. Oh, look at Stamper's Secret. Angela S. Carla Love. Look at who's here. Leanne. Oh my gosh. Jonathan, we love you. Yay. All right, Bart T. Oh my gosh, Bart T. I was just thinking about you yesterday. Josephine, Leanne. Oh my gosh, we have lots of fun people up today. Okay, guys.
Okay, so Lisa, Megan and I don't know if we should wait for more people to be on the stream. We've got about 200 people so far. We'll get more. But we have a little quiz for everybody today.
Yeah,
we wanted to do it. And we wanted to do it a little before everybody, until we talked about it. So we wanted just to start off with a big quiz.
Cool.
You guys want to do a quiz?
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
You guys ready? It's kind of hard. I'm gonna
is it?
Now.
Okay.
A little bit.
I like the hard one.
It is hard. And guys, you gotta tell us in the chat so we can know what's going on. So okay, are you ready?
Okay. All right. We're gonna show you an image of a space. And then for those of our Dezignclub members, you are going to get an opportunity to answer a poll and guess what design style this space is. And I'm going to share that now.
And for those of you on YouTube, just type in what you think it is into the chat.
Maggie, can you make that a little bit bigger?
Yes. Oops. Is that too big?
Oh, go back.
Is that better? Is that okay?
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
It's fine for me.
Okay.
So what is the question then, Maggie? What's the question?
The question is, guys, so take a look at this space and overall tell us what design style it is. And then we have a poll coming up here, don't we, Dina?
We are going to, but I'm not putting the poll up yet. I'm letting everyone look at it, but but I will launch the poll. This is the poll for the people in Dezignclub. Everybody on YouTube, you just tell us what you think it is.
Michelle's entered. Michelle S. She's one of our fabulous Inner Circle members who is just crushing her home renovation. She is crushing one. Jonathan goes, a bad one.
A bad one.
Well, guys,
Jonathan, you are so saucy.
So everybody on YouTube,
let's see what we've got.
Wait, Lisa, everybody on YouTube, we have these are the selections of the quiz, but you can put anything you want. Lisa, are you reading that? You can be either,
I am indeed.
We have eclectic as an option, we have glam as an option, we have French contemporary as an option, we have transitional as an option, we have Hollywood Regency, mid-century modern, or Art Deco. Now, that's the choices. You can put anything that you want. What do you guys think? Modern, Lisa, read some of these things. Modern mid-century,
I
modern.
am so impressed at what I'm seeing. Somebody says
too.
Miami glam. Very observant, interesting.
Modern,
Okay.
contemporary, eclectic,
Contemporary.
all of the above.
Contemporary, yes. Eclectic, yeah. Art Deco retro. Oh my God, I love you guys. People, you have been paying attention.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love it. Hollywood Regency, French Contemporary, that's interesting. Mid-century modern, that's interesting. Let's see what else people have popped in here. Modern, yes. Wouldn't say grand millennial.
Okay.
Okay, let's see.
Lots of
All right,
Hollywood
good.
Art Deco. You guys are awesome. Wow.
Okay,
Yeah, you guys are on
okay.
it. Okay.
You guys crushed it. Oh my God.
So let me show you the poll here. I'm going to end it so everybody can see and share results. I'm going to share the results with you guys. So that's what you guys all said on a Design Club feed on the Zoom feed, and basically Hollywood Regency won. Right? It was basically
Well,
30%.
it's a close neck and neck between glam and Hollywood Regency, according to the on the design style quiz, wherever that one is. I don't know where that one is. So I don't know if that's YouTube or the other. So
No, and I'm also going to do a screen share. Maybe I can share this. Oh, I actually can't. Okay.
I love it.
It's not
I
letting
love
me
it.
do
Okay. All right. So, can I see the room? Because I
Yes.
would like to tell everybody.
Well, and why don't you annotate, Lisa, on the room so we can all you can
Okay,
show us like what you're
right.
talking
Yes.
about.
Yeah. Yes, please do.
All right, let's do this a second. And let's go here. Oh,
Okay,
Can
so
I
what
share
is it?
Screen?
Nope. You
You
just
are
have to
sharing
do.
screen.
I'm sharing screen, but Lisa, if you just want to do the view options.
Oh,
so you
view
can
options. Got it.
annotate.
Okay, view options, annotate. Okay. All right, guys. This will stop on the screen. Cancel. Okay. So, all right, great. So I have to say I am super proud of you guys because Megan, what was it that architectural called this space?
So it was Art Digest. I'm sure you guys have heard of it. They actually call this space mid-century modern. But what do you think about that, Lisa?
Yeah, what do you
Oh,
think?
they
Put a one. Wait. Put a one in the chat if you agree with that, or two in the chat if you disagree with that. Jonathan goes, what?
What?
That's
One
right.
if you agree, or two if you disagree. Let's see it, and wait till the YouTube catches up.
Yeah.
They're on a bit of a delay.
Two.
Lots of twos. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
See, you know what that tells me, you guys? That you
What?
guys are smarter than Art Digest. Yay! I love it. So you are absolutely right. I don't know who was smoking what when they were printing this up at Art Digest, but there is absolutely no relationship to mid-century modern in this room other than, okay, I will say this, mid-century modern does tend to have large open window spaces. So that's literally the only element. And it's just like one part of this, this huge, amazing composition. All right. So if I got annotate on, let's talk about this for a second. We are talking about really strong, both glam and kind of Hollywood Regency references. There's even somebody said even a Miami element. See these bright pink tables over here on the sides. Now, this is transitional as a super category. Glam and Hollywood Regency always have. Why is it a transitional super category? Because it blends elements of both traditional. This is an extremely traditional detail. This glamorous crystal chandelier. But notice that this chandelier is in the shape of a Regency style chandelier. So they could have gone with a like regular 3-tier, but no, they didn't. They did this long teardrop here, and that's very Regency, very Hollywood Regency. Okay, another truly dead giveaway is the large palm leaf plant done in the gold. Okay, this doesn't get more glam, it doesn't get more Hollywood Regency, and it also links to a little bit of that Miami Hollywood Regency. Guys, you know, when you go down to Miami, right, and you see all those beautiful deco buildings that they still have down there, we have so little amazing architecture left here in the US, but in Miami there's this lovely collection in South Beach. And so they had a very distinctive color palette as they rendered the deco structures, because of course Miami is warm, and so their color palettes were a little bit brighter, a little bit poppier than the rest of the deco movement. So you definitely have kind of a Hollywood, you have a kind of a Miami flavor going on with this big palm tree, but done in gold. So all of a sudden we're hearkening back to, you know, the Hollywood Regency period with the movies and all the rest of this. These super rounded, amorphic shape, curved sectionals done in a balanced thing. There isn't an MCM bone in this composition whatsoever. I don't know, some sort of junior bunny over at Art Digest must have just missed this and like let it go through, because that is not a mistake they would normally make at all. There's nothing about this that screams MCM.
How about Lisa, how about the floor? I mean, do you see?
You know, I really can't tell what the floor is, but it looks to me like
looks like terrazzo.
It looks like a terrazzo, right?
Yes. Okay. So again, terrazzo, another architectural detail that came out of the the post-industrial revolution here in the US, and they started pouring this stuff everywhere because it was inexpensive. They could get good high traffic surfaces with little chips of marble in it. It made an expensive material go a long way, but kind of had a glamorous look to it. So, you know, this might have been another kind of building at some point. I have no idea. But so they did terrazzo, also very deco, and a transitional detail for that. You know,
Well, Lisa,
this table, I can't really see very much, but it's got a gold element. Gold always speaks to glam, which is really nice. The really large floppy palm leaf in the corner, that's very Hollywood Regency, glam, and deco all combined. It does look like they might be in some sort of tropical environment, because when you look out this window, you've got obviously this great big set of skylights, and you're looking straight out onto, could be a golf course, could be a pool area, and it looks like there's palm trees beyond. So it does look sort of like a tropical interpretation of glam and Hollywood Regency, but there isn't a mid-century bone in its body. So I don't know who was smoking what, but what happened there? What kind of editor missed that? But oh yeah, look at these little pink elements down there. I almost want to say it could be in Miami. Absolutely. Maybe one of the Miami hotels down there. I have no idea. But it definitely see. No, Claudia, good question. Terrazzo floor is not an MCM element. It actually originated in the 30s. Excuse me, actually late 20s. And so it actually is an element that you see a lot in deco. They added in to mid-century modern because the speckled floor effect was still sort of popular even during World War II, right? And so you have a few elements, a couple of very rare elements that kind of pull through deco and the 30s into that post-war mid-century modern that everybody kind of remembers from, like, you know, the Mad Men shows and things like that. So so I can see where somebody might have said that, but everything else,
Lisa,
come on, it all overrides it all.
Lisa,
Yes.
Can I ask you another question?
Yes.
The drapes, doesn't the drapes, just the way that they did the sets of drapes into the patio, isn't that a dead giveaway? It feels very glam to me, very Hollywood Regency.
Well, okay, so I think what you're referring to are these set of drapes that are outside drapery.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
so drapery pulled back like this is actually a completely traditional detail. Usually when you do a tie back on a drapery stack, that makes it feel more traditional. So when I said it was a transitional space, the Hollywood glam and deco are transitional subcategories. And so this element of the chandelier and that element of the drapery having a tie back like that can feel like traditional details that are pulled forward into transitional, because notice they're a drapery that have a tie back, but they're white. Okay, you didn't do all white drapery. They're also all white drapery here, or like an off-white sheer there. And so that's very contemporary. So they're drapery, but they're rendered in a transitional or contemporary way, which makes them transitional and fit the Hollywood glamorous scheme. You guys, if you looked at the old sets from, I mean, there's a reason that they call Regency Hollywood Regency, because there's a clearly Regency period. So if you look at shows like Bridgerton, that is classic early Regency, the original Prince Regent's Regency, okay? But Hollywood Regency was a reprise of some of those details, but with that movie overlay, which made it much more glamorous and far less classically interpretive of the original style. And so you have those kind of huge drapery that they actually used for sound battening. Okay, but so there were lots of big draped scenes done in the films from the black and white films from the 30s, because remember, they were just starting to produce talking films at that time, and they needed tons of sound absorbing material. So there were lots of big drapery swanning around everywhere in the Holly Regency style. So that's always a ticker that says, oh, Hollywood Regency. And a lot of times they'd like fill them with, you know, feather trim and all kinds of like gewgaw that sort of gave it kind of that extra sort of, I look like I should be being worn effect with the drapery. So
Lisa,
that's definitely a reference.
I just don't understand how they got away with a major article like Art Digest putting this in like this. Is so clearly, I mean, everybody got it.
I am surprised personally.
Megan, did that come offline, or did that
it
or
was
that
on their
in the
website.
magazine?
Nope, that was on their website.
Wow.
Fairly recently, actually.
Okay.
So go ahead.
Stop
Check
Art
it out, guys.
Digest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. That's interesting, because they're almost never wrong. Yeah. So
That's true.
Okay.
It's
do a
a
good
rare
job.
oversight. Yeah, they do. They really do.
all right, guys,
So
let's solve some problems.
yeah.
And you need to pick up your phone, Lisa.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
have our
Lisa, I'm gonna
inner
call
office.
you here.
oh, okay, great. Okay. Oh.
Incoming.
Incoming.
Oops, sorry,
Incoming.
guys.
It's me.
More tech issues.
Just
What's
make sure you
going
put
on?
on mute.
And then mute once you answer.
There she goes.
I'm trying to
There she
answer.
goes.
Will not let you?
No, it will not let me.
Oh, tech issues, guys. Sorry, it's been that kind of day, hasn't it?
It has.
Is it Mars retrograde or
It
something
must be
like
a
that?
Mars retrograde or something. Oh,
Or
I don't
Mercury
know. I know it is
retrograde.
Saturn.
Is
Anyway,
it a retrograde, guys? Do you know?
I
Someone
know.
let us know. That's probably what's happening.
all
Okay.
right. Well, so I want to get on with these questions because I know
Yes.
people are dying to answer. I know Miss Sherry has been waiting for over a week to get this answer. So I am just raring to go on these things. So, all right, let's see. I am going to start today with Angela C. I love it, Angela. You are so consistent with these Q&As. It's great. Honestly, I think you should have been an Inner Circle member, but you know what? You were rocking this house way before we even started Inner Circle. So, so this is really good. All right. So guys, let's see. How do I, oh, I have to share my screen. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to like wake up. Okay, here we go. All right, Angela C has this fabulous house she's redoing over you're Northern Cal, I think, aren't you? And it's very, speaking of guys, what style is this? Yep. See if you can put see if you can put the style of this picture that you're seeing right now
Mid-century.
in the thing. Yes, Kathleen. Yes, Michelle.
Nice.
Yes,
Did I miss
Sonia.
it?
This one.
Very good.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's
Nailed it.
Mid-century modern, unlike that picture we just saw.
See the difference, guys? See the difference?
It's kind
Oh
of
my
an ugly
goodness.
mid-century modern, but
So Angela has this dilemma. She is going to do she has been really like following along and doing some really good renovation work with this house, bit by bit, kind of on the slowly side, but she's getting there for sure. And she's about to start her painting palette, and she's decided, she's done a rule of 3, and she's chosen primarily Swiss coffee, which will be fabulous for her. Swiss coffee, and her color palette also includes brass, linen, salt and pepper sectional, all those kinds of lovely mid-century neutrals. Okay. Now, this happens to this wall, which is what's called a cinder block wall, which was very popular at the time, happens to live in her entryway. And as you can see by this picture, it is clad and, excuse me, the cinder block ends, if you look closely at this end right over here, it ends in brick. Okay. So Angela, I'm not sure if you're here today or not. Jonathan, you're right. The way to Lisa's heart, Swiss coffee. So true. So darling, I'm not sure if you're going to change the color of this brick or not, or if you're going to paint it, or if you're going to keep it. So that would be one quick question I have for you. But here's a detail that I wanted to show everybody. So what she's wondering is, should this go out of color other than Swiss coffee? And the answer is absolutely yes. And then if so, what color? And I'm going to say that with all of this folderol and all this other business going on, going out to the Swiss coffee, which will be a nice neutral thing. And she's taking the floor a little bit darker along with the stairs. And she's going to open the stairs up and have them floating. Ooh, I love all that. So I say this wall, your feature wall, would be super sexy in kind of a somewhere between a sexy charcoal and a soft black. And I would leave it at that because, and it would be a little bit on the warm side because I want to show you this brick again. If you're not pulling out this brick, and you don't have to, you can leave it this way. That's very MCM. If you look at this brick, right, which it will sit next to, okay, there's this very yummy dark tone right here, right, which I really love. And if you kind of worked towards something in that note, you might look at a color by Benjamin Moore called Black Bean. Oh, I love that color. It's a super sexy kind of charcoaly neutral, but it has a slightly reddish undernote, which could be very, very sexy. But make sure that it works well with your final color on your floor. That's the most important thing, because really at the end of the day, you're only seeing the two combined right here, right? So you're only seeing the end brick, but that storyline carried across like this, dark, would be super, super sexy and make it important. And let me tell you one more thing I want you to do is, holy cow, what happened here? I want you to wrap it around and do this edge detail too, because see, this edge detail up here meets the rest of the brick. This is never a good solution. Just stopping
Lisa?
Drywall, I don't know. But
Lisa, can I interrupt you for a
you
minute?
can always put a little cap on that. Ooh, like
Lisa,
a little
can I interrupt you for a minute?
Oh, yes.
Sorry, we don't have our inner office.
Oh, I
memo
know
thing
we
working
don't,
today.
do
It's-
we?
I know. But what I was going to say is, yes, Angela is on a YouTube chat. And she has a little A, and it's a little brown in mine. It's a little brown A, and she's in Seattle. Angela Cox.
She is in Seattle. Maggie.
Hey, we're neighbors, Angela. I remember seeing you quite a few times. So it's been really fun seeing your project and your progress.
Dana. Okay, I'm trying to like get our little thing to work. Okay, good. Okay, good. All right. Okay, so yes, Angela, darling, if you're following me, check out Black Bean. Do the rule of 3 on this. Okay, you need to silence yourself.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we are just the Three Stooges.
It's gotta be a Martian Metro.
It has to be.
No, I think that Dana, you have checked out today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I love this, and I cannot wait to see progress shots, darling, in the club, because everybody loves before and afters and the progress, because you know what? It's so encouraging. People realize that their space, which maybe looks like a pig and a pug right now, can turn into something really amazing, but it has to go through a really ugly duckling phase first. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And that's where everybody loses heart. So, all right, guys, next person up is Kathy E. And Kathy E is joining our Inner Circle Club. I am so excited, honey, because you have such a big project ahead of you. Oh my goodness. And here's just an example of what happened. Kathy E was actually on the Q&A last time whenever we did it.
Yeah, and Kathy is on chat on YouTube, on Zoom chat.
Oh, could be. Yes. And so I had made a comment about the fact that I thought that the bar stools were a little out of place for this lovely sort of transitional kitchen. But then I came to understand that she's planning on completely renovating the kitchen. And so, guys, if you are doing things like a project like that, Inner Circle is a perfect thing for you, because kitchens are super, super important. But she was curious about her bar stool today. And so this is the element that she saw that might be on sale. And I'm going to tell her, that that's a no-go. And honestly, Kathy, the reason it's a no-go is because this little stool, while comfortable, attractive, and probably fairly reasonably priced, is not remotely tied into this style statement, because the little stool tends to be contemporary, strongly contemporary, and have almost a little bit of a mid-century modern. The legs don't splay, but it has that tapered back edge. And so that really kind of feels that way. So I would just hold on to these stools for a while, darling, until we start ripping this kitchen up, because, there's cabinets that need to be refaced. I know you're talking about stone samples. You're talking about colors for the island, colors for the backsplash. All of those things are perfect. If you're facing all of that kind of change in things, that has to be looked at from the standpoint of what is the rest of the room doing? What are you planning on doing with the whole space? Where are you standing with your lighting? What does your flooring materials look like? There are so many factors that have to be considered when we start looking at these final selections for things, that you go, okay, wait, before you spend any money at all, let's do a whole plan out, because that way, when you do things, when you do work on things, that you're good to go with all of the choices all the way down the line, and everything works. So I would wait on those stools, darling, at least for now. Okay. But it won't be long. I got to tell you. Yeah, it will not be long on that one. Okay. So I cannot wait to answer this next one, because this is a gal, Sherry, who has been in our Inner Circle class already. She was in our very first one, and she has done some amazing work with her structure. She has this crazy house that she purchased from, not crazy, but she has this house that she purchased long distance. She's up in Canada. And here's the deal, guys. She purchased it. And then the minute she saw it, she realized it was not as well constructed as she thought it was going to be. So her renovation budget kind of shrank as a result of having to repair. Okay. And that's something I want to make sure that you guys understand, is that when you're looking at places, when you're looking at places, you can look at that inspection and it can go over a lot of stuff, but it won't tell you about things like baseboards that don't line up, or trim details that are not the same per room, or little tiny things like that, because inspections are based on structural deformities or problems, okay? But they're not based on whether or not, perfect example with Sherry's house, her click down engineered wood floor was put down incorrectly. It was installed incorrectly. So she had to actually pay someone to go back through and actually install it correctly. So those are numbers that she was not counting on. So it's really important to understand that you've seen that space, or you've had a representative of your interests walk through that space before you plunk $1 down. Now, Sherry, you have done a fantastic job with this house. And now she is already, in fact, Megan, do you have the ability to pull her before and after of her kitchen?
Yeah, let me do that.
Oh, would
Yeah,
you
I'll
do
grab
that?
that.
Because I'm going to answer her thing, but I want to just brag on her and her good work. So her issue right now today, guys, is she's got this living room, and she was living in this lovely condo in a town in Canada, in a city in Canada, excuse me. And she's moved her stuff up. And so as you can see, she's got a very sophisticated sort of combination of furnishings going on, but she's having a problem because the layout for her room is, let me annotate. The layout for her room is, the room is much bigger than her condo had been in terms of the living room, dining room condition, okay? And secondly, it's a little bit of an odd layout, because when you walk in, you come in through this doorway and it has 2 steps up, which is an odd feng shui situation. And I believe we were gonna work something out, Sherry, for a little bit of some sort of visual stop here. Or I know we talked about it, but I don't know if you've had a chance to kind of engage that yet. At any rate, that would probably be helpful long-term. But let's talk about your furnishings for the moment. So so here's part of what she's got in terms of this longer sofa. She's got a rectangular coffee table, these 2 absolutely exquisite Ming chairs. Woo-hoo-hoo. Those are beautiful. And then here's another view of the room where she's got the entry door. There's the 2 steps up. Then there's an upholstered chair with an ottoman and a lovely window over here. And then there's this odd sort of fireplace, which is part of the layout. This is that double-faced fireplace, which is really kind of nice. She's way up there in snowy part of Canada. So she's definitely going to need that happening there. And here's another picture that I want you to see, which is there's this lovely long wall here. And so here's what I'm going to suggest you do for a layout, darling, is I'm going to suggest you swing that sofa around here, okay? And you anchor that long wall with your big upholstered piece, because right now you have it here and it's blocking these lovely 2 windows, all right? And then what I would suggest you do is place the single part of that chair and ottoman, right here. It's kind of a slipper style, right? And then here's the coup de grace that I'm so excited about is so I'm going to give you an option. You could put it here or you could put it here. All right. Either way, because this technically is your walkway to the kitchen right over here. So it can go either way. Let me hit this for a second. Okay. So I'm going to show you that. But what I love about this, and here's your rectangular coffee table right there. Okay. What I love about this is the fact that those Ming chairs. So guys, when you have a situation where you don't have a completely broken out entry area, okay, and you walk in onto a sitting area, which is common in many homes that have great rooms or, you know, any kind of situation like that. Most important thing that you want to do is you want to deliver some eye candy right away to that entry, to the person who's entering in. Okay. So your biggest eye candy in this whole space right now is the backs of these Ming chairs. These are exquisite chairs, exquisite. Doesn't matter if they're, you know, inherited or real, whatever, they are beautiful lines and they are your tasty statement. And what's nice about them is that Ming chairs are relatively high. Remember, they were originally thrones. Okay. So the back is rather high, but they're pierced, they're open, right? So if you walk in on a room that has two Ming chairs right here, but they're pierced and open, you still see through to this whole arrangement here. And I got to tell you, that super fabulous Buddha head should probably go right there on the end of that. You could probably put a little accessory table down over here. And you might even put some sort of like sexy little drink table that looks great, maybe a drum style. Ooh, that would be fabulous. Tiny though, because you don't want it to shout around those Ming chairs. And then
Lisa?
coffee table in the center. So that's amazing. Now, oops. Okay,
No question.
now, and I know you've lost the ottoman to this, but yes, I know you've lost the ottoman to that, but I'm sure that can find another home somewhere in the bedroom or something like that. So I hope you love this one. And Dana, you had a question.
No, I just had a question that I thought that one of those little drum tables that you can get anywhere would be really cute between the two Ming chairs.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, look at the store.
Like Chinese drums, like in all chrome or black.
Yes,
or something
absolutely.
Like
they tend to be a little thick. I might consider something a little bit smaller in diameter for this, but that would be a really good solution. And it kind of like keeps the flow of the kitchen into this living room and feels okay with the front entry, because you've already addressed the front entry by giving it some eye candy. All right, so we're gonna stop sharing there. So yay, Sherry, please keep us posted. I love it when we hear from our inner circle people. Ooh, Dana, we should talk about next step. Oh my gosh, right? We should talk about next step. There's so much going on. Oh my God.
No, I do want to say to everybody, I will say to everybody that we've had two people move out of July. One person moved to October and one person moved to August, and we just have a set number of seats in that inner circle. So we have two open seats. That doesn't happen that
really?
often. Yep, as
we do
this weekend.
But for now, guys,
yeah.
so yeah, and we're closing it, right, Dana?
Well, we start onboarding this next coming week.
I was gonna say we start onboarding next week, right?
Yep.
Oh, guys.
I know. So if you want to be in July, this is the time to actually do it. July starts July 30th. It doesn't start, about 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away? What are we, guys?
2 weeks.
That's
2 weeks,
about
people.
2 weeks.
A little over
Yep.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to be an inner circle, guys, send me an email. Just send it to me directly, which would be Dana. Oh, I'm reading something on chat. Okay. Okay. It's coming from Dana at lisaholt.com. Kathy, I probably sent you that email and it's in your junk file. Guys, we get problems like that all the time. So Dana at lisaholt.com, send me another email. I'll reply to that email and then be looking for that. I will do that today. So, or right now. So send it to me now. Okay. But we have like literally 2 spots and then they're gone. And then we're looking at August.
Well, maybe
It's the end
not.
of
We may
August.
have one.
Mhm.
Yeah, Kathy
Because
says
it looks like
she's
Kathy
ready
might
to
want to
go,
move up.
so-
Yay, Kathy.
so
You know what?
yeah,
I
so
would
then we have
say
one
move
spot.
up because I would say move up because the whole thing is that the guys, I know we kind of like it's sort of weird how we talk about it, but this next class, which is 106, starts on July 30th and it runs all the way through to the end of September. So there is this whole like 8 weeks that I'm going to be able to help you with your house decisions on things. And Kathy, you're a perfect example. You are ready and raring to go, girl. And doing your planning in advance before you swing a hammer is the way to save the most money ever on things.
Right.
And that is what
Mhm.
we do. All right, let me
Lisa, Lisa, one more question. Phoebe Lim on YouTube chat is asking, when does the October class start? I'm not sure of that date. You have the dates.
Oh,
in your
hang on.
office.
Oh, so our October class, so our August class starts on 8/28, okay, and runs through the first week of October. And then number 8, class number 8, write this down.
And the last
starts
one of
on-
the year, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that is. Yes, that is. Oh, guys, that's the last one of the year. It's 10/1. So it starts the very first day of October and it will rock all the way through to 11/19. And then that's it, guys. That's Thanksgiving, you know, and I know for all you English people that are listening, you're not going, it's Thanksgiving. You're going, yeah, we're going thankful. We got rid of you. But yes, so 10/1 is your date for October. So if you're interested in that, let us know right away because we have August and October left and that's it, guys.
That's right.
We might throw in a next session, but okay. Tom Weir. Oh, it's actually not Tom Weir. It's actually Sherry. Oops. And I'm sorry. I did not mean to say your name out loud. I apologize. Okay. Sherry
but you
W. Sherry W, who is a new member of the club. Welcome, Sherry. Yay. She's just purchased a condo in Philadelphia and she's got a few challenges with it. She's got it doesn't get a whole lot of light. And okay, oh, it's funny. All right, wait, let me share this with you guys to see this because she says to me, she says in the thing, she goes, no, this looks lovely and beautifully lit, right? But these guys are the realtors' pictures.
Hey, Lisa, just before we move on, just wanted to ask you, were we going to do before and afters of that one house?
Yeah, I actually have that up, Lisa, if you'd like. Sherry's
Oh,
before and
yes.
after. So
I forgot
again,
about that. Thank you guys
yeah.
in chat.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
let me-
Oh, yes, please.
And then we'll
Do you
come
mind,
back.
Sherry? Hang on 1 second. I'll stop sharing.
Okay, go ahead and do that. And let me pull this up. And again, guys, Sherry was a part of our inner circle and she posted
Show
her
the
before and
before
after
first.
too. Okay, so here's a before.
Can you make that larger at all?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
okay,
this
yeah.
kitchen was a crazy mess.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
This is another before picture, guys. They had these
Yes. Look at those
interesting
wacky
columns.
columns
Yeah.
that had no structural integrity
And-
whatsoever.
We were working with them on this project. This is what we were doing
That's right.
with them.
In inner circle. Yes.
That's right.
That's
So
right.
again, here's the before. There's the after, guys. So this is what you can expect, the type of help you can expect from the inner circle. This is incredible.
She did it herself.
She
with-
did.
with us,
She did.
but yeah.
Yep. Good job,
Look how
Sherry. This
great
looks
that
amazing.
looks. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. That was
And
such
we
a
worked-
hot mess that she
Yep.
that she purchased when she knew
And
it,
we were,
right?
wor-
But
and we were
look at
working
that
with a
kitchen
budget.
now. Oh, it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lisa,
Yeah,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
also working on a budget too. I mean, this wasn't like
Super
unlimited
budget.
amount of money
That's
to
right.
spend.
Yeah.
Super
Yeah.
budget, guys. And get this, she's not done yet. She still wants to work on that, replace that kitchen floor. And then thirdly, so she has to do things in phases. That's okay. Thirdly, this particular house is way out in the beautiful countryside of Canada. But the problem with, and you guys know, the rest of you guys that are in inner circle and you're out in the, beautiful countryside of wherever, is that it's hard to get people to come work for you. and do your
Mhm.
work. So they're like, swinging hammers themselves on some of this stuff to kind of like make things happen. So it's really hard to get people to come out and do things when you're in hard spaces. So that's one of the things we do address when you're in inner circle. So thank you, Sherry, for letting us have those and share them, because I love for people to see these. I know the fridge, right?
Yeah.
I know. It's like hugely valuable to kind of like see these new, see these before and afters, because you know what, you look at your space and you go, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no idea possibly how this could be better. And it can be, but you need a lot of help and support. So that's really the deal. So Sherry, you have this condo in Philly. It looks like you are going to keep it for future use, but right now your college age daughter is going to be living there. So she doesn't want to invest a ton now, but she will use it in the future. So I love that, because it gives me a little reference point on programming. Now, her request is, how does she make a space like this? So it's long and narrow, right? Which is fine. But it has this lovely architectural structure right in here, which feels very sort of authentic and older, which you get on the East Coast, which is great. And here's another shot from like the entryway of this. But
Yeah,
she said, the problem with this is the fact that it doesn't have any light. And that's because the realtors go in and light it falsely so that you can, they add lights to the space. So don't they, Dana?
And they also Photoshop it.
And they Photoshop it. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So she says, in reality, the space is super dark. And so she's going, I don't know whether to take it kind of dark and moody and all the rest of that, but I don't know where to go with this. And I'm okay. So what I'm going to say to you is this. I'm not quite sure what your budget is for renovation, but if you're planning on redoing things in phases, you definitely may want to consider being an inner circle. But if you don't have time for that and you want to kind of just do something quick and dirty for the time being, your first solution that will give you the most bang for your buck for right now is to repaint. And I'm going to tell you light, but here's the deal. I don't know if you're changing those floors at the moment or not, but if those floors are staying, the problem with this space is that you do have ceiling lights, right? I mean, I'm seeing, you've got overhead lighting happening here, right? So that's all good. And when I saw this other picture here, right, you've got plenty of lights sort of, working in the kitchen. You may want to add some under cabinet lights if it's not already there to get you a nice wash on that. But this whole thing is fish scale white. Oh my God, it just looks like somebody started with primer and maybe left it as primer color, maybe to sell it. People do that. They go down and they just pick a white out at Home Depot someplace and just paint the whole thing, not knowing that there's 100,000 whites that you can choose from. So what's my favorite color? Put it in the chat.
Put it in the chat,
Everybody
guys.
knows it. Who's been
I almost
following
spoiled
me?
the surprise.
Benjamin Morse Wiscovi.
That's it.
Yay! Yay!
They
All
got
right,
it.
there you go. I was kicked out of the design club. Oh, huh.
Yes,
that's
I
cool.
already talked to her about that, Lisa. I actually
Oh,
literally
okay. It
just
wasn't me.
sent her.
Okay, it was Lisa. All right.
So guys, if you're having any problem with the Design Club, you need to go into either help@thedesignClub.com or dana@lisaholt.com, and I will take care of it with you. And
yes.
and leave me a phone number so I can text you. A lot of times that works best.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, and we did have a problem about, I don't know, a month or 2 months ago, something like that. I've lost track, where
Yeah, but we're good
a
there.
computer glitch dropped a bunch of, it was new members or it's just something random. It was really weird. And there were about 20 of you guys that got caught in that. And we haven't even found everybody yet. So if you're having problems, please contact Dana about that, because that was a total just, not even user error. It was just a glitch.
Yeah, just totally random.
Yeah, totally random. So anyway, so you have good light in here. What you don't have is good paint. Okay. So my answer to you, Sherry, is to start out just with a whole new paint job, and making sure that you get enough lighting where you need it. Okay. And that's going to keep it white for now. Now that'll work for you the time when your daughter's living there. But when you guys decide to get ready to move in, that may be the phase where you want to come in and join an inner circle at that point, and then start to work around things like I don't know if this is a fixed color finish on the end of this counter, but I would stay with a warm white that kind of works with this existing tile, and definitely kind of bring some warmth into there, but still keep it light and bright, because you want to get as much lightness going on as you can in that thing. I'm sorry, Dana, what was that?
No, I think that you asked everybody a question before we went into it about your favorite color.
Oh, yes. Did we get
And
it?
everyone
Did we get
answered.
an answer?
You got a lot of answers.
Uh-oh. Swiss
Swiss
coffee.
coffee.
Yes. Swiss coffee. Okay. Absolutely. All right. So good. So Sherry, thank you and welcome to the club. I am so excited to have you guys here. I love it when we get new members that punch stuff into Q&A right away, because it's like, I am here and I am gonna be okay. And I am looking for help on things. So that is so good. All right. So our next, let me stop sharing. Okay. So our next person is Lynn. Okay. So Lynn L, all right, has a fantastic, oh, let me get this going. She has one of these spaces that we have here in the US, guys, called great rooms, and her great room ties directly. So this living space with the fireplace and the TV. By the way, guys, here's a solution where the television is not above the fireplace. It actually can happen. Then this connects directly to the kitchen, right? And then here she's given me a little bit of a, I don't know if this is a panorama shot or not. It looks like the angles are a little bit funky.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But it is. Okay, yes. Okay. But obviously, so the kitchen, there's a dining room that's attached and the thing, and her concern is the fact that she wants to know how to make this open kitchen and family room more light and airy. And she goes, everything is so matchy. Yes, it is. I'll tell you why. And she's looking to modernize. Now, how do I make the fireplace and entertainment center not compete as a focal point? Okay, so let's just unpack that short paragraph of needs, okay? There is a whole lot that can happen for this space. So this is another perfect example of, if you're just updating a room like a living space that includes a great room space that includes a living, dining, and kitchen, that's an inner circle project, people. You only have 8 weeks, but it will get you through all of that, because right now I can tell you some of the problems, but I don't know where you want to spend your budget, how you want to phase it, what's the highest priority for you, where you'd start first, what are things that are involatile that cannot be touched. These are parameters that we need to understand to help find a perfect solution for you, because you're absolutely right. You made a very good observation. Everything is matchy. Why is that? Let's go over to this room for a second to take a look. Almost everything in your space is what I call medium value. Okay. Now, when you're completing a room composition, and it doesn't matter if it's a bathroom or a great room like this that has multiple functions like this, you always need to have represented a completely light value, a completely dark value, and a completely medium value. Now, they can change in percentage depending upon the other programming requirements that you're trying to deliver with the space. All right. So, like, for instance, you might do a dining room and it's super dark, but that's because you're trying to deliver moody, sexy, mealtime, that kind of thing. But you might, do something with all white plates, or you might have like all white upholstery in it or something like that. So you're playing with dark, light, and medium at all times. Okay. So this is the problem with this space, is that everything is medium. Let me annotate. You've got this and this, which are just a medium middle oak. They are almost the same color as this fireplace. Now, these are not mistakes. This is just what happens when people kind of plug things in, maybe that you saw in a showroom, because this sofa and this sofa are identical. These two chairs are identical. Okay. These two are medium value. These two are dark value. But now you have 4 pieces and 2 of each are identical. So, here's a table over here that matches this one. All right. Now, you have this, wait, let me go to this kitchen room for a second. Okay. Now let's look at your kitchen cabinets. They're almost the exact same color as the other wood over there. But the problem is, so is the floor. Okay. So you've got a dark element here with a kitchen cabinet, right? But, your backsplash is the same color as the cabinet. So it just blends in and disappears. I don't know what kind of lighting situation you have. You have a medium to light wall color, which actually does very good because you've got some funky angles in the ceiling. And so you painted the ceiling. It looks like the same color, which that was a good decision, but it's a little pigmented to maybe pop these out. And I don't know if you want to change the color of these or not. I don't know if you want to change the countertops or the floor. Or going back in here, do you just want to work on the furnishings? And what do I see happening here? A medium area rug that is too small for the space. Okay, so we need to kind of work on that a little bit. So understand here that there's a lot that I could help you with, but I'm not informed enough around your parameters and what you want to do and what's the highest priority for you. Like maybe your highest priority is just fixing the furniture for now and maybe doing something with the fireplace and then leaving all of the wood elements the same. Or maybe this TV cabinet has to stay because you need the storage and all the rest of those kinds of things. So maybe we figure out a way to kind of like work these furnishings another way. And then you do some of the bigger decisions, like maybe you're changing the floor, maybe you're not. Or repainting, maybe you're not, for phase 2, phase 3. That's the thing about Inner Circle, is that what it does is it helps you plan. And when you're having to phase things, and believe me, guys, so many of you guys are in the same boat where you've got a budget and you can do X this year, and then you're going to do Y next year. When you bring a little more cash into the equation to be able to do something, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. I'm sorry, Dana, did you need something?
Yeah, of course. Hi, Lisa. I wanted to mention to everybody, isn't budget a concern, a potential concern as well?
Absolutely. Yes. I'm not quite sure what your budget is. Maybe your budget is Zippo. Okay. If your budget is Zippo, then we're going to work on things like, what can we pull out of the space that isn't quite working, right? Like maybe I would ditch one of the 2 sofas and maybe consider, keeping the 2 chairs, but then what you need to do is you need to really differentiate these 2 chairs from each other by adding accent pillows that really have different stories to them, maybe the same chromatic story, but maybe slightly different patterns, or vice versa. Okay. Maybe all the wood has to stay, but maybe you could paint the coffee table black, right? Because you need another dark anchor in there to kind of like change some things up. Maybe you can't change the stone on the fireplace, but you could give it a gray wash and maybe update that a little bit, or even a whitewash, because the stone is, it's fine. But the problem is it's the same value as this is. So maybe you could do that. Megan knows this. She's facing some budget issues of her own with her new house coming up. So she's honestly contemplating redoing her own kitchen cabinets.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is not for the faint of heart, right?
It isn't. It isn't. I'm terrified. And I wrote a book on it, you guys.
And she wrote the book on it. That is absolutely true.
It's so funny. And then Claudia in chat, it's super funny. I agree with you. Claudia says, I hate having to have the B word. Budget, right?
Budget. I know. But
agree.
you know what? The reality of it is a reality, right? And so, and there's a lot that's very well. I mean, these cabinets are quite beautiful in here. So maybe what we do is consider like, redoing the hood in something that is a little bit fresher looking. I'm not quite sure. So, and maybe just editing. I would pull all of this stuff sitting out on this shelf out because I don't know where my eye wants to go. Is it up to this painting of a water or this photograph of a waterfall? Is it the fruit in this dimly lit niche that has no point whatsoever? Or is it this plant over here, or is it the hood? Or maybe these lost in space little lights over here over the fireplace or over the kitchen island, right? There's nothing wrong with any of them, but what's happening is they're competing. And so stripping things out, editing often can help you guys if you're on a super budget to be able to just pull things out first. You sort of begin to see the slate a little cleaner, a little bit more finished, etc. And then I don't know what this is on your open shelves here, but you know how little I like open shelves. So to me, I would put like one white item on each one and see if I could get a little bit of light happening on there. You may have under cabinet lighting on there, but if you don't, that's fairly inexpensive to add for an electrician. It might be an hour of his time to hook some up to, the power that's right there. And you might already have it. So there's some budget options to consider. And then if you want to like give me some more information that we can kind of like play with this as a work in progress. If you'd like to do that, Lynn, too, because I'd love that one. We all love those, right? So yeah. All right, so let's stop sharing there. And Lynn, thank you so much for sending those in. Oh my gosh, it's such a treat for me when I see this. Okay. Oh gosh. And then how are we doing on time? All right. I've got room for one more. And this one also, I think, is a new member to the club. Yay, welcome, Jen, if you are. Let's see. Now, Jen, oh, I love it. Oh no, you're not a new member. I'm sorry. She loves the design club. Maybe you are. Oh, I'm not sure. I should check. I apologize. But Jen has a very exciting adventure going on. She, just like Megan, has a new home that she's purchased, and she's needing to get help on a large fireplace wall. Okay, so let's take a look at her pictures here. Oh, let's go there. Oops, and let's go here. Oh, okay, that is not the fireplace wall. Oh, this is the fireplace wall. Ah, okay. What a beautiful space. And what I want to say is, wowza, baby. You sort of buried the lead on the TV.
Wow.
How about these?
I gotta tell you, that is very
I don't know if Jen is here today, but if you want to put in chat where on the globe you are, because this could be, oh my God, the Swiss Alps trees. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow. I don't know where this is.
Yeah, that's impressive.
That's gorgeous.
Love this room. Love this room. Look how beautiful this is. This is an amazing.
Lisa,
right?
Lisa, there's a mistake right there.
There's a mistake.
Oh,
yes, there is a mistake.
Hard to miss.
Actually, that is what she's asking about. Okay. That is exactly what she's asking about. But I wanted to show you guys this third picture because this gives us a little bit more information. So here's the wall, the problem wall, okay, according to Jen, okay? And then on either side is this magnificent window wall. Do not do window treatments until you talk to me, okay? Because that's complex, that wall. Maybe you don't even need window trimmings, which could be very groovy, because that view, wherever the heck that is gorgeous. And then here's the other side. And so this wall, right? This is more information we need to know to make these decisions. This wall opens straight up onto her kitchen, right? So she has a great room condition as well. So what is she worried about here? New home, and she's got a fireplace wall that, excuse me, is 18 feet high. Oh my gosh. Who is it? Sherry in Philadelphia would love to have an 18-foot high ceiling, because she has one of those antique buildings that she's in Philly, and those ceilings aren't as high, right? So, oh no, excuse me, fireplace walls is 18 and will be 17 for ceilings. I'm not quite sure what that means, but they're high, they're up there, obviously. Paint color has to stay. Well, that's an interesting parameter. And TV, according to her hubby, the benches are 6x21, and they look like they are storage, which probably are quite useful. Fireplace is 6x6, and appreciate anything you can suggest to help me. Well, I'm going to have to tell you that you're going to have to sit your hubby down, okay, and have a little chat with him.
And have him watch this video. Lisa, have him watch the.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Oh, can we put the video in the chat? Oh, that would be so good.
Well, yeah, it's basically it's on our YouTube channel now once we're done with it.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It is. It is.
So she can just have him watch this.
This is
so we
a
can all yell at
perfect
him right now.
example. This is a perfect example, guys.
Explain
by
to
the
him,
way,
Lisa, can I ask you to do something? Explain to him, like, how would I explain to my husband? How can she explain to him?
Your husband?
Why?
Oh, God. Why? So,
yeah, okay, let's not give him my relationship status. But how can she explain to him what to do about the TV?
Okay, yes, it's true. Okay, so here's the dilemma, guys. Well, maybe we can ask a couple people in chat what they notice is as the dilemma, because I know there are some people on YouTube that have loved that video and watched it. So
everybody knows.
So maybe they can throw us in there. The craning neck, very good. TV on the fireplace. Yes. Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This is a big no. Okay. I just gotta say, guys, there's all kinds of ways we can solve this problem, but you probably moved into this house and the power was there, because builders have no understanding about ergonomics, right? And so they just slap that thing, they slap that power right above the fireplace, and they move on because they really don't care, because they're not living in this house. All right. So here's the deal, is that we can't get rid of this because this is here. Okay. And your fireplace is here. That you could, if you wanted to go to a lot of work and, move this over to kind of one corner or the other, you could definitely do that. But here's the deal. It's on this wall. Okay. It's a tad underscaled for that wall, to be quite honest. I'm surprised hubby hasn't mentioned that yet, because I know, Dana, yours would have. He would have taken one look at that wall and gone, I want a 120 inch. Anyway, so here you have this lovely fireplace, right? And it is painted the exact same color as this wall. So you are losing the effect of this statement right here. So the best solution, and I know he's not going to like this, but this is what I'm going to tell you, is the best solution on how to decorate this wall is to start out with making this wall an accent wall that is a more saturated color than the rest of the room. And the reason I love this is, the reason I'm going to this as a first solution, okay, is because you've got these nice built-ins that also have grills in front of them. So those probably originally had speakers in them. And that color goes all the way up to the ceiling. and it goes all the way up on this side, goes all the way over to this corner right here. It does not go onto this wall, and it goes all the way over. Watch this. Over here. Oh, I loved this solution when I was looking at it, because look at what's happening. You're going to be able to zip this lovely accent color underneath here all the way to this corner, unless,
Lisa,
wait, unless,
what's
and
the
I
little
needed the
arrows?
answer on this, you're doing a backsplash right here, which you should, okay? Because it looks like this house has been built with no backsplash, and you are eventually going to have a hot mess on this drywall, okay? So you kind of need to do that. I'm sorry, Dana. What was your question?
Well, I was saying you need to erase that because you changed pictures, and so you've got the
Oh,
old-
okay. All right. Let me erase. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay. So
It's confusing.
we're still talking about an accent wall, okay? But I did have one other question, which is, and Jen, if you are in here right now, you can tell me, are you planning on putting backsplash right here? Because if you are, it would be super important for the performance of your kitchen to get some backsplash there. Looks like you've got a granite countertop there. So one of the colors could go out that color. And what I love is if you've got paint here, it goes over to this corner as well, right there that you can't see behind the balustrade. And what I love about the idea of this is that all of a sudden this accent wall becomes this force of nature architectural statement. And you can pick a color that could pull out of this granite. You could pick a color that could pull out of your furnishings. I don't know kind of what you're planning on doing, with that. But what's great about that is that it needs to be fairly saturated, because what happens then is, let me stop annotating and go over back to here, is this big black thing all of a sudden starts to disappear into a wall that has a richly hued color on it. And it'll pop this kitchen cabinet, it'll pop this balustrade. All of a sudden, all of this is starting to make much more sense. And it'll pop this it'll pop this beautiful fireplace that you've got here with the lovely stone right here. And then this nice tailored kind of trim molding around the surround. This is all really very lovely. And if you leave this, the color of this wall, and take this all out into something yummy and saturated, maybe it's a gray tone or something like that. Maybe it's picked up from something like a grayish tone that's picked up in the floors. Oh, that would be so yummy. This problem will sort of disappear. And then what you do, here's the final kicker, is you get 2 pieces of artwork, okay, that are either sisters or a paired story. You hang them right here, okay, above the TV and down here, okay, and you're done, darling. Fini. You do not have to do anything else up here. I don't want you to do anything up here, because this is now a statement that makes sense. And I used to have I had a client that used to collect, he was more traditional, and he collected Chinese screens, and he had 2 huge, like 7-foot Chinese screens. And so we popped them into a very similar situation, actually, beside a TV. We popped them over that and in front of the fireplace. Oh my God, it looked amazing. So that's the deal. Now, if you don't have that artwork and you're going, well, where the heck am I going to find that? You could literally do a really nicely framed, elegant poster that had some sort of story statement, not, one of food or anything like that, but, it's kind of like something that maybe works with your style statement. Consider something like that. And Maggie, would you, what's the video on how to buy art online? If you need
Oh,
it,
yep.
that's a
We've got
great
a
video and
Mhm,
has some great resources.
definitely.
And so then what you're going to do is, and I'm not quite sure of my scale here, but these will probably be at least 6 feet high. Okay. So think big. You want to think poster art. Okay. But you can frame poster art with some matting to make it feel important. Okay. I have done it many times when I'm working on a budget. Or you may have 2 pieces already, which would be gorgeous. And then boom, you're done. So, but the biggest argument is going to be taking this color out. Now, what I want you to do, Jen, is I want you to keep me posted in the Ask Lisa, because if this storyline dies, whoop, at your husband, then I could talk to him. Or no, no, if it dies at your husband, I have another idea around this, but that's my first choice. And I always want to present to you guys the highest and best solution, because I want you guys to have it work, right? And if there's a reason that you can't paint because maybe you can't afford it for right now, then we're going to focus on the art. But in the meantime, that's your solution. So I hope this helps, because this looks like it's a lovely home. I am still super screamy about this. I have to say, I really want to know more about that story. This is such a gorgeous view out the window. It looks like you're up in some gorgeous mountainside or something like that. So you have to let us know. Okay, Jen?
Yeah,
Lisa,
Lisa, we've actually had a few questions in chat as it relates
Lisa,
to the color of the wall. Would she go
Megan?
really dark?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Before we do that, can you stop sharing, Lisa, for a second?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay.
I don't know. I just get pushed around on these things. You guys are. I'm going to show you something here really quick.
Lisa, the enforcer.
That was the layup of that one side with the piece of artwork that you were talking about.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Well, look at the shared screen.
What am I?
Do you see the image?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Well, no, this is a little bit of a different situation, because this is I think a 22-foot ceiling. But the drapery started the ceiling. But if I'm correct, you may actually have a peak right here. I can't really tell, because this looks suspiciously close and this is definitely higher. So, oh, sorry, I'm not annotating. So, but yes, this is an example of a very high condition. And we did this room with, note the paired artwork. Note the paired artwork over the in the niches. You don't have niches, but yes, I pulled this drapery up to the ceiling and notice the architectural match to this color, right? So that's very important, especially when you're dealing with drapery of this length. I don't even know if you need drapery. So that is kind of a supposition I was making on my side. But if we go back to the wall for a second, did I see a question? What color would I suggest here? Well, to be quite frank, you've got this granite here, and this granite may have a tone in there, but I would pick something probably I'd maybe consider picking something either out of the flooring or out of the granite, because it's got to flow across that granite in some sort of storyline that the backsplash speaks to, or the backsplash has to go light with the cabinets and make that a separate unit. Either way, you need backsplash in there. But yeah, to me, I would go dark gray. Do we have any of those pictures from that video that we did, Maggie, of where we talk about how when the wall behind the television goes a deep value? In other words, you can't go bright red. You can't go yellows, oranges. Yeah, those are not what I'm talking about. You need to go a deeper neutral tone. And that neutral tone is represented in some of the grays and deeper charcoals, things like that. And what's great about it is that you guys have like 18 feet worth of ceiling. So it's that super sexy dead end stop to that wall that really just makes the whole story work in a way that's very intentional and very very important. And then it also makes this important, which is really great, and makes this less important if it stays, since it's staying there, right? And so then you do the two artwork pieces on either side. And oh, I'm not sharing. I'm sorry. I'm busy plugging my fingers in the air and you guys aren't looking at it. I'm sorry. Let me share one more time. Yes. So, so with this wall going out a dark, right? It pops, it pops the fireplace, okay, and makes the fireplace appear more important, because right now the fireplace literally just disappears, okay, and it makes this, the contrast between this and this, way less high, okay, which is good because that will make this blend in. And then when you put the artwork here, right, whoops, wow, okay. Did someone give me Irish coffee this morning? Then you've got the ability to go disappears as a problem, and this wall becomes a storyline of view-shed that has a focal point. Did that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Oh, somebody says Norwegian blue paint is gorgeous. I don't know how deep it is, but you could do a midnight blue. You could do, oh my gosh, there's a color that a gal in Inner Circle discovered from Benjamin Moore that's new called Nightfall. Oh, it is squeal of approval gorgeous, I have to say. And she's doing something with like huge ceilings as well. And she's building in built-in banquet, or not banquettes. Hello. My restaurant is coming. My restaurant design days are coming out at me. She's building in, she's building in bookshelves on either side of this fireplace, which goes up to the ceiling in gray stone. And she's doing the fireplaces in this sexy nightfall color. And it is going to be so gorgeous. I cannot wait to show the pictures. We've got some amazing progress shots, actually. So look at Nightfall. Look at Black Bean. What's another couple of colors, guys? That are
Black
in my
Beauty.
Grays and Blacks book. And in the club. Oh, Jen, go to that book. Yes. Yes. Oh, Megan, I love you. Ta-da!
There you go. See how
That
it
is
just
the
disappears.
I love.
Yes.
Can we all give a hand to Megan? She is so amazing. Can we
Thank
do
you.
golf claps for Megan?
Thank you.
Oh my
Thank
God.
Thank you.
That is the story of the disappearing fireplace, which is so fantastic because then it stays right where it needs to be, right? Which is obviously going to be there. Doesn't solve your ergonomic problem, but it does solve your visual issue. So that is so perfect. Thank you, Megan. Thank you. Because, sometimes it's that picture that I've got in my head that I don't have at my fingertips. So
Maybe we have to save that photograph for one of our books or something.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, look at all those golf claps.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That's right. Listen, guys,
Aw.
she is the mastermind behind so many of the pieces in the not in the inner circle, I'm sorry, in the club, right? All these fabulous books. Megan makes those. We write them together and then she creates them. So they are just amazing. But I've got something, I've got something that I wanted to tell you about that we're planning on for the thing. We've already started recording some of these, which is, I know some of you guys feel frustrated when you're in the club and you're lost and you're not knowing how to find things. So we have created what we're calling the recipes on how to get something done. Megan, tell them about it.
So guys, basically, and like Lisa said, I mean, the Design Club's huge. There are so many resources there at your disposal, but it can be hard to know how to find them or how to navigate them. And so ultimately, we're creating these short little videos that, as Lisa said, they're called recipes that will help walk you through each step, strategically each steps of the content that will help you complete all of your projects, whether it be kitchen cabinetry, kitchen countertops, lighting, the topics are quite vast. So yeah, be on the lookout for those. They're coming soon.
Well, Jonathan thinks it's a good idea. And they're clapping on the other side, so that's good.
Good.
Yeah, well, you know, what happens is when you come to Design Club, it's like every time we add more stuff in there, it adds it up, and it says we have, what do we have, like 25 or 2,600 items in the Design Club. It's a
Oh
lot.
my God, it's
So-
insane.
So this way you kind of know if I'm doing a project, all of the resources within the Design Club and where to go so that you can get your projects done right. Isn't that kind of like our little slogan-y thing?
Yeah, turning out to be. That's right. That's right. Oh, good. People are finding the books really helpful. Oh, that's nice to hear, guys. That's nice to hear.
Good, good. Good.
Oh, that's so
Lisa, we
funny.
have-
In YouTube, June says her husband's probably kicking and screaming like, yeah. Where's my TV going? Nowhere. I promise
You
you,
just have to
nowhere.
hide
It's
it.
gonna stay right there. So I love it.
Okay,
right, good,
Maggie,
good.
I kind of interrupted you earlier. Did you want to go through a couple of really quickie questions or no?
Yeah, sure. Lisa, are you up for just like, there's just a few lightning round questions.
Like a
Oh,
lightning
sure.
rounds.
Oh, we never did
Yes.
a lightning round. Oh
Yeah,
my
super
gosh.
quick.
Somebody
super
needs
quick.
to plug my head back on my shoulders.
Let's see.
It's
let's see.
Mars
Okay.
retrograde.
Looks like, yes. Sheila asks, she says, I am being asked to choose switch plate covers. I think screwless is worth it, but is satin? Or how about painting them to match the wall? And what about for wallpaper? And she's wondering about perhaps doing brass, let's say in the kitchen.
Okay, so Sheila, if you're the Sheila from Inner Circle, you actually, okay, you're gonna go nuts, but you're actually gonna do what's called a plate schedule or a fixture plate cover schedule, right? Because it's not just the electrical plates, it's also the electrical outlets, okay? Now, here's the great thing, is that if you start looking online, there are amazing options online to get colors that really tightly match either the paint colors or anything else along those lines. These days, there didn't used to be. It used to be like white, gray, black, you're done. But now there's a ton out there, okay? I'm not familiar with the screwless, but it certainly sounds like a good one. And if you don't mind throwing the resource into one of the things, I would love to take a look at that because I haven't seen the screwless yet. So so do a little plate plan, and wherever, you know, the wallpaper matches, you have to make a decision. You're either going to do the background color of the wallpaper, excuse me, as a plate color, or you can do the metal finish if you don't mind having it be an accent. But remember, the metal finish is not also the metal switch. Okay, so the switch will be white at the end of the day. So I'm not a super huge fan of metal, but it may work well. Now, I also have done, if you guys go on to Etsy and you Google, or not Google, but if you go on to Etsy and you search for custom light plate fixtures, if you have a really super important room, a lot of times Etsy has vendors that can specialty finish them for you. And I have done this. I did a bathroom with a very important and exquisite onyx backsplash. And we actually had a custom painter take a photograph of the stone and then send them the plain white thing. And they did a masterful job of matching the stone so that it just literally like went away. And we got the Diva switch, the actual switch part, in the overall color of the thing, and it happened to be a pale gray. So you can dial these in room by room. And honestly, it's worth it for the important rooms. For the bedrooms that might be just a plain color, just, you know, consider them like a neutral. But the important rooms, if you have wallpaper, I know one of the bedrooms you're talking about that has wallpaper. We may have to see if we can do a specialty match on them. And I will say this too, if you're going to paint them, which is very common. You want to treat them like a kitchen cabinet door in that you want to put a sealer on them. Then you want to put the paint on them, and then you want to spray coat them with a finish that is matte so that they don't shine, that allows you to clean them. Because eventually what happens with the painted ones is the paint will eventually wear off a little bit. And so or get soiled if it's a lighter color. So that spray seal finish is really important, because you can wipe it down with a sponge if somebody's grabbed it and they had chocolate on their hands or something like that. So I know it's this funny little detail, but it's one of those things that stand out. So thank you, Sheila, for mentioning that. Oh, that was not very lightning. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Who knew that was going to be such a loaded question?
I know, right? Oh my gosh, there's just so many details in design.
That's true. Do we have time for one more, Dana?
We
You think?
can. It's up to Lisa.
Yeah,
She
but
wants
I
to
got
keep
one more
going.
in me.
Got one more? Okay, I'll
Okay,
make it a
do
good one. Okay, so Angela asked, who we saw her mid-century modern home earlier. She says,
Yes.
what backsplash will go well in my mid-century home that will make my husband happy? He is begging for contrast since it's all linen. And now that you had mentioned black bean for her space.
Ooh. Angela, I need to see your countertops and I need to see your kitchen to give you a reference point on it.
Well, when is Angela going to do this? Because what we could do is basically have her go into Ask Lisa, give her that information, and then have her and be the people and have her up next week.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We could do an ongoing Angela question each week, which would be fun. So, and I may have to turn into the hammer with your hubby, but yes, we'll see, because I think I know this house. Oh, Seattle. No, I don't know this one. Okay. Yeah, I need to see the views of the kitchen. So you want to post those for me and Ask Lisa, and we'll hit it up next week. All right.
I wanted to say something to Valerie, and she's on chat and Zoom, and she said, yes, this was helpful to me too, since we are planning on painting ours. You know what's amazing in Inner Circle, guys, just as a FYI, is that even though you might be listening to some other folks' projects that we're working with, you learn so much about what you're going to do, and you're going to learn about questions you didn't even know you had. And we get that all the time, that you're just listening to another person's project and suddenly you're going, oh my God, I want to do that for my project. And then we do. And then we switch gears and we actually do that for your project. So that's a super, really important, valuable thing in the Inner Circle.
I just found a really great question in the chat that I'm going to answer right off, because I can knock it out. M. Stern has a larger MCM, and he's repurposing, good for you, M, original steel, mustard yellow, and green cabinets, some of them with glass front uppers. Very cool of you. I'd like to use quartzite, but most seem too gray. Any suggestions for color counter? Okay, so if you're looking at quartzite, you're looking at the natural stones, okay? If you wanted something colored, okay, there are a couple of quartz vendors. So I don't know if you meant quartzite or quartz vendors, but there are a couple of quartz vendors that actually do solid surfaces in some groovy mid-century modern colors. I put an apple green countertop in one of my projects that was very mid-century modern. And I want to say it was either Caesar stone or Pental. And so I don't know where you're located, M. Stern, but if you can look up those quartz products, then you'll get those. Now, quartzite, which is a natural stone, which is a very hard surface that's found, in quarries, a lot of it in Brazil, some in China right now. Quartzite, a very common quartzite, which is a really good performer, is Taj or Taj Mahal. You might check that out. Taj tends to have kind of a brownie tone, but it's not a really strong color. So there aren't really strong colors in the natural tones in quartzite. Oh gosh, we have to stop.
Good,
Okay.
good
So I
question.
hope that helped.
Okay, guys, so we actually have an inner circle program that starts in 15 minutes, which means we basically stop this and we actually go right into a class. So anyway, Gaia, you're going to be on with us, I'm sure. Megan, you're on with us. Lisa, obviously, you're our fearless leader. You'll be on with us. So guys, we loved having you on today. And we're
Yes,
going to
we
just have to
missed
say
you guys so
goodbye.
much.
So goodbye,
Yep.
you guys. We're going to be here next week. Next week,
That's right. That's right.
right?
Yep. Same time, same place. We'll
Okay.
be here.
Same time, same
Same
place.
time next week. We'll do it all again. And we love you guys, but we have to go. We got 15 minutes to get ready and do another 3 hours. So
That's right.
All right, you guys.
See you later,
We love you
everybody.
guys. Stay safe and ask
Bye.
Lisa.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.